How is everyone doing today? And in this video, we are going to be doing something a little different because after the concert, if I am not wrong, for Honkai Star Rail, we actually just got a trailer for one of our newest Hoyoverse titles that we're going to be seeing. And this one is a little exciting because not only does it go into another genre, one that is really fun, and not only that, one that is a little reminiscent of another game that is very anticipated coming out, which is Azure Familia. This game looks absolutely amazing. We only got like 20 seconds of it, so it's really not that much to look over, but I think the premise of seeing these two characters here, this is crazy. Looking at Kiana and Blade, why this I think this right here is already like the craziest thing in the world to me when it comes to a new game, which is supposed to be, I'm assuming, a Pokemon centered game where we have these little creatures. Blade has his, Kiana has hers, and they're about to fight. I think by far this is one of the coolest things in the world, just because not only is this a new genre that we're moving into, but with that being said, we have two characters from two different Honkai series games. We have Kiana from Honkai Impact 3rd, and although I'm not 100% sure if this is actually Kiana from HI3, I'm leaning more towards GGZ Kiana, just because I don't think we've ever seen her in this form or fashion. She does have the orange pants like HI3, but I feel like the top is more reminiscent of GGZ, but I don't know. We'll see when it comes down to that time. But realistically, it doesn't matter. HI3 Kiana, or Kiana as a whole, has not appeared in Star Rail in any way, shape, or form. We have seen HI3 talk about HSR stuff when we had the Sparkle collaboration, where we had Kiana talking to the memo keepers. And realistically, looking at Kiana from Honkai Impact 3rd and Blade from Honkai Star Rail, this is huge because this opens up the doors, because not only could this be, you know, that Pokemon centered game that many people will enjoy automatically, but another thing about this is that with this being said, this means that potential Honkai Impact 3rd characters, potential Honkai Star Rail characters, and also Honkai, I don't know the name of this, Nexus Anima, having these three series converge into one, allowing you to pull for, which there's gonna be a little bit of nuance to this. I don't know how they're going to do the pull for these characters, or use these characters that we've already pulled for in other games. I could see them doing that, just because if you really like that character, go ahead and use them. It will probably be something like Azure Familia, where you pull for a character and then you go capture the Pokemon, or you capture the creatures, which will be really cool to see. I have no idea how they're going to do this, and if they're just gonna re-release models, which will kind of be kind of crazy, unless they all have like brand new unique animations, and then we'll have to see if that's the case. But Honkai Star Rail, Honkai Impact 3rd are definitely going to be with each other in this, and I'm assuming Nexus Anima's original characters are also going to be thrown into the fray as well. But the other thing is, what does that mean for the other Hoyoverse titles that they potentially could throw in here, which would be kind of cool, like seeing maybe Miyabi, seeing Zhu Yin in this game, also seeing something like what are the characters, Ganyu, Hu Tao into this game. This is a Honkai series title, but with them crossing over the two Honkai games, I would assume that they would try their best to include ZZZ, and also looking at Genshin Impact, just because having a fat ton of characters that you love from other series could be really cool to see all at once. And now, the other thing I do want to talk about as well is that with Kiana and Blade being shown, which a lot of this is just really speculatory things in regards to looking at the characters that we have here, like I said, Kiana and Blade, this kind of puts me in a really nice spot, because when I say that, it's because Honkai Impact 3rd has a lot, and I mean a lot, of side characters and also male characters that we are not able to pull on. We got Kevin, we got Kalpis, we have, I'm trying to remember everybody. You got Welt, but Welt's also in HSR, but we have that Welt. We have Otto, we have Void Archives. We have a lot of characters that aren't summonable, aren't usable inside the Honkai Impact game, because of course there's all female roster. So those characters specifically, and a lot of the Flame Chasers as well, from Honkai Impact 3rd, if they release them in this game, if they release those characters in this game, alongside a lot of the Honkai Star Rail characters like Cele, Bronya, all of them, Oh yeah, this game is gonna make bank. I'm telling you this right now. This is going to be the next big Hoyoverse title for sure. Now, not knowing realistically, and we also have two characters right here, all with their own separate creature as well, and one right here inside this bush. Yeah. But looking at these two characters, looking at this very small teaser, like I said, not really a lot to go off of, but the fact that it's two creatures fighting each other, this could end up in multiple different ways. I have no idea how they're going to do it specifically. It could go more in the Pokemon route, where it's like visit cities, go ahead and challenge these, I guess you say, gym leaders. We can make it basically the template of Pokemon, or it could be in the route of Azure Familia, or aka Pow World, where you are fighting with these, you know, characters. Let's say Kiana or Blade or whatever character you want from the Honkai series. You fight with those characters, and you are building your own house. You are building your own base. You are farming with these creatures. You're giving them jobs, all that different type of stuff. There's a lot of routes they can go with this, and realistically, whichever way route they go is gonna determine the replayability or how big this game definitely gets. I hope, realistically, looking at this, that we do see some type of multiplayer in the future, or some type of co-op feature where it's very heavily incentivized, or not to the point where you can't play it by yourself. Realistically, you should be able to play it by yourself, but playing it with friends is the same experience, right? You're getting able to do everything with them. You're able to take down bosses with them. You're able to take down dungeons or caves or whatever you want to say alongside these characters and your friends. I would love to see something like that in this game, because realistically, Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, I know Zenless Zone Zero is getting their co-op eventually, but we still haven't gotten it. Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, and HI3, they took out their co-op. I hope we can get some type of co-op or multiplayer function inside this game, just because it would make a heck of a lot of money if you could just play with your friends. I don't know why gacha game companies are so allergic to playing with friends. Like, why don't they want to make co-op features to play with friends and not hinder yourself too? Because games like Wuthering Waves, games like Genshin Impact, although they do have co-op, they're not fleshed out. Wuthering Waves is taking more steps ahead when it's talking about making events dedicated for multiplayer, where you can play with friends, you can take these on with friends. And the Genshin Impact had that before, but they stopped doing it as much, and they stopped prioritizing multiplayer or looking into multiplayer, because I feel like that's just a big section of the audience that just wants to play with their friends. And I think you would get more players, you have more players spend money, all that different type of stuff, if you end up getting more heavily into the multiplayer section than what we've been getting. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this video when talking about the brand new Honkai game. I am very excited, without a doubt. I can't wait to see more news. But seeing Kiana and looking at Blade, y'all already know, is one of my favorite characters. Seeing Kiana, absolutely amazing, always. And seeing my boy Blade here as well is super cool. So other than that, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. On to the video. See y'all guys in the next one, and peace.